Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video I'll be discussing some brief thoughts on episode 4 of the anime series Hataraku Maou-sama, or The Devil is a Part-Timer. Some really interesting stuff going on in this episode, and it actually fell in line with some speculations I've made as far as who it is that's been pinpointing Emilia and Sadao, the Devil King. We basically have that revealed for all intents and purposes in this episode, and we also see by the end of it that there's actually a couple of extra forces from Emilia's side, her allies in Ant Isla, where they all originate, coming through that same rift. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen. But essentially we pick up right where we left off with this earthquake, and you have Sadao back in his demon form saving people, and incredulous Emilia looking on, wondering and being baffled. Why is this happening? Why is he actually going to these lengths to help people? And, there's some conflict along those lines in this episode. What I think is the most tremendously interesting is that we have a flashback, and this flashback really reminded me of what I've basically come to call a sister series to this one, Maoyu Maoyusha, in the place settings that you see depicted in the flashback. It really looked similar to me, but in effect, you find out that Emilia is driven with such hatred and rage and vengeance against Sadao because she blames him for the loss of her father, the man who raised him and then she was taken away from. Basically because it's said that her mother was an angel and she was born for the purpose of basically staving off the attacks of the Devil King and being the one to defeat him. That was their prophesized thing. So she was trained, and she never saw her father again. She found out shortly thereafter, very interestingly, that it was the general of Satan, Lucifer, that raised the city and raised the town and killed her father. And so you have this driving force that is pushing her ever forward, and it's very intriguing because by the end of it, guess who shows up with his wings drawn and just pure evil, dripping wet. But we also have aspects yet again of basically seeing Sadao as not being so evil and actually caring about this world to a degree. You have him running into cops, and he and Alciel, while Alciel is basically bending over backwards, depressed that he hasn't helped his master and whatever. You have them pretending to be actors, and it's a very comical aspects to why they're in our world and how they're surviving that I absolutely love. But you also have them fitting into our world, and you see Emilia actually starting to experience that with her friend and co-worker, bringing her back to her place and talking about having experienced an earthquake in her youth. And when Emilia doesn't question it, because of course she wouldn't have been there or known anything, but this is oblivious to her friend embraces her, and you see that Emilia is actually being less and less alone as she has been, which was something that concerned Sadao, and that was shocking as well. But then at the very end, you have the cliffhanger. Lucifer shows up. It's him who's been pinpointing them. The wings come out, as I say, dripping evil, and he wants to rule all. He wants to take down these two forces, the king of evil and the queen of, the good, and rule all. And he's using Chiho as a beacon through which to find them. And then you also have the added footnote of what is up with their apartment manager, knowing more about this situation than anyone should on Earth. I don't know, but it's very intriguing, and I can't wait to see what's next. I can't wait to see if these people all become allies, whether they go back to Ant Isla or stay in our world after taking out Lucifer. And I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of all of this, and if you think that's the way the series is going to go. And so otherwise, that'll be it for me on this. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.